Hello team players! I'm finally back from my big hiatus, so it's time for another teamwork build. Today I'm building the Blowgun Master, the first build in my Ultimate Army party. Let's dive in. For today's build we're building an Alchemist, and we're going at the Toxicologist research field. That will allow us to poison our blowgun darts, allowing us to use our blowgun to its fullest potential. And we can do so for one action instead of two. In addition, all of our poisons are going to go off our class DC, which means our poisons will always be relevant. This will definitely allow us to debuff enemies a lot, which will come in very handy. For our Ancestry, we're going with the Poison Hide Trip Key. This means if enemies do get too close to us, we can poison them. Granted, it'll only do poison damage, but at least we can poison them if they get too close to us. For our attributes, intelligence is going to be our most important, as that's what all of our poisons are going to go off of. And dexterity is equally important for this build, but that can be a little bit lower. Other than that, you really don't need anything else. Maybe some constitution for more hit points, but that's pretty much it. Also, charisma is going to be pretty important for this build as well, especially for a feat we're going to take later. But that's pretty much all you're going to need. For skills, intimidation and stealth are going to be your two most important. You might also want other charisma-based skills, but those two are definitely the most important. Our first feat for this build is going to be Trip Key Weapon Familiarity. This guarantees that we're trained in blowgun, even though it is a simple weapon, and we need it for a feat we're going to take later. So we definitely want that training in blowgun, at the very least. For our class feat, we're going with Blowgun Poisoner. This feat does two things for us. First, it allows us to deliver the poisons, even if our blowgun doesn't do any damage. Second, it allows us to remain hidden, even after we attack. So, we can always get that off-guard condition. If we're undetected, then we just become hidden, but still, very effective for this build. Even more so than Alchemical Familiar, which is what I would normally take here. For level 2, I've gone with the new Gorilla dedication. This gives us training in either Deception or Thievery, both of which are amazing for this build. And we can now sneak without making a stealth check, as long as we only move half our speed. Even if we don't have cover or concealment. As long as we're in our location we picked for our favored location. It takes us a week of downtime to change locations, but otherwise we can pretty much pick anything. But we can be within 15 feet of an enemy without them noticing us, as long as they're not on guard or actively searching for us, and we're undetected to them. This makes it very easy for us to poison them with our blowgun without them noticing anything, making fights much easier for everyone in the party, especially if we use the right poison. At level 3, we want Canny Acumen because we got low will saves, and we will have higher will saves for a good long while. So, expert in will saves is always helpful. At level 4, we'll be taking Guerrilla Weaponry. This makes our blowgun deal a D4 of damage and gain the Deadly D4 trait. So we can do decent damage even if we don't poison our blowgun. We also gain the Guerrilla Assault action, allowing us to reload and then strike. And if we're undetected or unnoticed by the creature that we're hitting, we're now hidden. Which means they know that, which basically means they know they got hit by something, but they don't know where it came from, making it that much easier to hit them with a different poison and debuff them even more. For our level 5 Ancestry feat, we're going with Prodigious Climber, allowing us to climb up trees and other stuff so we can attack from like up in a tree or something. For level 6, we'll be taking Sticky Poison, allowing our poisons to stick around for longer, even if we miss or they don't make a save against our poisons, because they're immune or something. Of course, if they're immune, then we're going to be doing acid damage instead of poison damage, but still, the point is our poisons stick around for longer, and that's huge. At level 7, of course, we're going to be taking Toughness for more hit points. That's always good. At level 8, we're going to be taking poison, sticks, and stone. Our blowgun isn't always going to be effective, which means we need another way to poison enemies. So, this feat will let us poison sling bullets, which is very handy. It also automatically allows us to have poisons on hand. That means even if we run out of poisons, we'll still have some to work with. But the big thing here is poisoning sling bullets. And sometimes we're going to want to be using sling bullets rather than our blowgun. Our level 9 Ancestry feat is going to be Fantastic Leaps, allowing us to jump into trees rather than climb, and we can jump over things like difficult and hazardous terrain, giving us that much more mobility. Of course, leaping will make us become observed, but in some cases, that's actually okay, because we need to get over that difficult and hazardous terrain, as well as just have more mobility when we are observed. And level 10 will take Venomous Weapons. This gives our blowguns and slings the Venomous trait, allowing us to do poison damage even if we don't spend the actual action to poison them. In addition, if we do poison them, they do even more damage, which is very, very handy. This is definitely one you should consider. At level 11, of course, we're going to be taking Die Hard, so we die dying 5 rather than dying 4. Very handy. Always want to take Die Hard and Toughness, as well as Canny Acumen. Those are like the best general feats you can take. At level 12, we're going to be taking Frightful Attrition. This means when we kill an enemy with a poison, then all enemies around them have to make a will saving throw or become frightened. Also, any creature that didn't see us directly, it takes a -2 on the save against this. This only works on enemies within 30 feet, but it's very effective. At level 13, it will take Hop Up. So, if we fall unconscious somehow, even after all the stuff about us being hidden and undetected and all that, if somehow enemies do knock us out, we get to stand as a free action, which is big, because it allows us to get back to poisoning enemies with our blowgun, being hidden, all that. It is fantastic action economy here. At level 14, we're going to take Lonely Army. So, if we're in our favorite location, and we're hidden, unobserved, or unnoticed by all enemies, and we're not fatigued, after a successful strike, we can sneak, interact to reload a blowgun or sling, and then strike again. If that hits, we can do it again. We remain hidden for all these attacks, but after using Lonely Army, we're fatigued for 1 minute. So we do take a penalty on our AC and saving throws after using this. But if we use this right, that won't matter, because we're going to remain hidden throughout this entire thing, and even after. So even though we are taking a penalty on all of our defenses, we're also hard to target because we're hidden, making this feat hecka worth it. And finally, at level 15, we'll take Fleet for a little more speed, as being faster is always a good thing. For our formulas, we're going to want that Quicksilver mutagen to make it easier to hit with our blowgun. We're also going to want poisons and elixirs of life. You can use other items, but those are the main ones. For free archetype, there's quite a few that can help here. Of course, if you've got free archetype, you're going to want to take all your gorilla feats on that side of free archetype, and you can take other poison feats on your alchemist side. The poisoner archetype is very good here, as is the rogue. And that's the Blowgun Master done. If you guys like this video, you can subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video, comment, or tear my build apart. You know, I'm not perfect, so if you got better feats for this build, absolutely put them in the comments. If you want to talk about this build or other builds, my Discord is where you want to be. And of course, if you want a path builder for this build, you can absolutely check out my Patreon page. Link is in the description, as well as my Discord. If you like my content, here's another video you can check out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and remember, teamwork is vital. It helps us solve problems.